Agni versus Apollo. And I'm looking at Jalts, who is one of my subs, and he's known as Dark Bluto. He's not a bad player. He just didn't have a very good game, so I'm going to walk through it. I'm not going to look at every single player in the game. I'm just going to look at the individuals that request it. I don't think it's fair to look over them again if they don't want to be looked over again. I don't know. And people were already picked from this game. I'm just going to look at Jalts individually and discuss exactly what went on in this game. So in the other games, though, if you want me to go through it, if you don't have a combine, you can also send analysis through as well. I am going to do some analysis today if I can do. So we'll go through that as well. Now, back to the actual thing at hand. We'll just bring this bad boy up like this and we'll start talking through exactly what's going on. Hopefully I have game sound now that I'm actually on the lobby. We'll talk about bans and stuff as well. It might not be down to the individual, but it's just nice to look at bans. Obviously this is kind of the EU meta with those bans right now. DM didn't really understand the EU meta, I don't feel, when I saw him looking at it. Like we saw first picks Carly, which is kind of standard in the EU right now. But they're sort of the generic bans, and then you'll see Sylvanas and Thor probably picked up as the first couple of picks going through this. It doesn't surprise me that they're the ones that will probably get picked up. But Gab chosen over the Sylvanas is interesting. Normally you look for the high pressure lane from Red Team. They chose not to in that one. I'm not sure why they chose not to go for the Sylvanas. He's so strong with the push power. And it kind of counteracts Thor to an extent, because Thor's early game is very strong. He's not bad at the invasions too. So Blue Team's going to get Sylvanas and Thor on the same team, which is a pretty brutal, strong early game for them. And Sylvanas develops well as the later stages. So already Blue Team have given up the early pressure in the jungle by the jungle choices, and they've also given up the early pressure in the duo lane by the Apollo and Sylvanas pick up there. I do like the Nemesis in response, because Nemesis doesn't have the worst matchup against Thor, honestly. Well, she has a few issues, but it's not the worst matchup. Plus, she's already got one target to be able to destroy with Sylvanas and steal the protections from and bring him down, because he is an issue to bring down when he needs to be. But what it also does is it detracts from picking certain things into the solo lane and mid lane, like Zhang Kui or Hercules and stuff like that. It can detract from that because Nemesis is very, very good against those as well. Goku, if that's a game that you want to go over, then like give me the match ID, buddy. Just send it in an analysis document and I'll go over it for you. So look at the counterbans now. Ra picked up, so they want to take away another healer and a safe laner, which makes sense really. Although the Ra ban doesn't necessarily need to happen, because you've got Nemesis. Nemesis is good against Ra because she can slow him down. It forces him into sprint if he wants to survive against those situations too. The Osiris ban makes good sense, because Osiris is very, very strong in the meta as well. And you don't really want to see the Osiris Nemesis lane. Ooh, it's a combination that's pretty strong, honestly. So I'm not too scared of seeing that one banned away. It's back over to Red Team now. They need a mid lane and a solo laner. I'm interested to see what they choose here, because I know what they end up playing, because I've seen the game. It's just that what the decision making was and why they chose those things is what's interesting to me. In this situation, if I'm looking for a mid, Agni's really safe, but I probably would have considered going Giannis there, honestly. Giannis is a viable option. It's going to give you some more mobility on the map, especially with a Thor who's going to be rotating a long time. I think going for Giannis there would have been a better pickup than going straight into Agni, or saving the mid lane pick and picking something for solo. But solo is such one of these lanes right now where it's all about counter picks to an extent. So it makes it very, very difficult to deal with. But now that they've picked in Agni, it's over to Blue Team. Blue Team have to pick both of theirs and look in the mid laners. I'm down for the Poseidon pick, really. It's really Poseidon or Isis in these sort of situations that you'd be looking for. Because Giannis doesn't have a great matchup early on against an Agni, although he can deal with it, you know, and it wouldn't have been a bad pick to have to have Giannis there again instead of Poseidon, but I do like the Poseidon choice. It would have been just as good to get Isis, I feel, because the push power in all the lanes. And then the final pick of the game goes to Loki. Loki to Bakasaur is just a farm lane. If you were going to pick Loki anyway, you might as well have just picked it earlier, because you'd already seen Osiris banned away. Hercules is a bit of an issue for him, but that kind of baits you into a Hercules pick against the Loki, which means that Nemesis has an extra target to deal with. If you notice from Nemesis's targets now from the jungle, there's not going to be many of them. She's only really got Sylvanas to really steal stats from and really cause an issue for. Poseidon has a pretty okay game against Nemesis. Nemesis can't really close the gap too well. He's got multiple ways to disengage from her. So I'd like the Poseidon pick for that to deal with the jungle, and it also good against Agni. So if you look at just how the matchup's going to play out as a whole in these picks and bans, duo lane's going to push really hard from Blue Team because they've got Apollo and Sylvanas against Nan Hergeb, as well as mid lane's going to push. Poseidon should be able to outpush an Agni for the most part and punish the Agni if he makes mistakes in terms of his his path of flaming. He has to make sure he positions it correctly and doesn't telegraph it, otherwise cripple comes down and you're not going to clear the wave. Then you're going to get caught in a bad spot and take 3 damage. What else is there to really discuss? Bakasaur versus Loki, that's Baka's lane for the most part. It's going to take Loki a long time to get online in that one. And then Thor in the jungle does have a better game overall in terms of looking for aggression and going in deep and picking this one up. So they got outpicked in picks and bans in my opinion, did Red Team. Blue Team picked correctly for the situation they were in. They got really, really strong picks in all of their lanes really. And Red Team just kind of like just picked. That's what it kind of felt like. It kind of just felt like that. I mean, I don't mind the Anher pick. Honestly, the Anher pick earlier was okay. It's just the Geb pick over the Sylvanas kind of like just said, okay, we're going to lose lane. Just because we haven't got the push power, so we're looking for the late stages of the game, and that kind of feels what Red Team's whole composition is late game, but they've got to have to weather the storm of early. Anyway, we're going to go into the game, and we're going to be following Jalts in this one, who's the Agni player. I'm not going to go through everybody and discuss what they do right and what they do wrong. That's what the scouts were doing. But somebody who didn't get scouted, and I know he had a bad game because I saw the game, was Jalts, and he asked me for feedback on what he did right and wrong. And so I thought I'd take the time to actually go through him and see exactly what he did and what went wrong and what went right for him. So what I'll quickly do is just set up the camera when everybody loads in. He's on a 5. I'll just quickly set things up because I've not done this just yet for a little while. Give me the mouse, thank you. Pause. Because what I like to do in these games is set it up so it looks exactly like it would for the most part in a normal game for you, so we don't get to see all these shenanigans that you'd normally see in these games. Just hide these all away for the time being. We'll bring this to the centre as usual because it's exactly where it would roughly be. And apply. Oh, no, it's not going to go away. F4. There we go. Sorted. Oh, one more thing to do. Quickly just change the pause thing. Oh, it's in this one, isn't it? Pause, 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 pause. Where's pause? Pause. Boom. Thank you. Okay, so now we can be able to pick things up and move things around if we need to. Things looking golden for this. So this is exactly the sort of camera we'll see from Jalts for the whole game, and we'll start going for exactly his decision making and what he chooses to do. So the first thing of note is he's going to be in lane against a Poseidon. So what's his decision going to be? Well, first decision is he's not spent all his gold. He's not spent all his gold. He's missing 1 health potion here, or 1 mana potion. You should always spend these. There's no reason not to. And it'll help you sustain earlier through the early game. Now, generally, it's either 2 mana potions or 2 health potions and 1 of the other, depending on the lane situation you're against. As your Agni as well, your mana cost isn't too high, so 1 mana potion normally is dictated there. And you're going to be against a Poseidon Thor, and that means you could get bullied early if the Thor rotation causes you damage. It means you could end up back in base earlier than you want to. You really want to get that extra health potion. It lets you sustain a little bit more. So already that's a mistake. It's not a big misplay, but it's a mistake that you should not be doing. You should always spend your gold if you can, and if it's going to come to use, which it will do in this scenario, I can almost imagine. I'm trying not to like give it away that I know what goes on, but I'm being honest about what you should be doing at the start of the game. Kind of just dancing around in mid. I don't mind this because you are giving vision of the mid lane to an extent of where people are rotating to. You've got a ward on this side. Remember the map's flipped, so you've got to read it backwards really. When I look left, it's actually looking that way, on the right side of the map. So it seems being very, very passive at the most part. Now that he sees no one mid though, what I would have liked to see from Jalts, he's got a ward here, but if he just looks down this avenue here, like you're safe enough. You take Path of Flames at level 1 anyways, Agni. You could stand here and give vision all the way down here just to see if you see the rotations. I know there's a ward here as we can see, but it still doesn't stop you from having to be able to be in a position to see what's going on across the edge of the map there. You've already got cover on the other side thanks to ward placements to an extent. Like, even Anher's in the wrong position too, but we're not really looking about Anher. I think this is just super, super safe, but it gives up too much control in the jungle overall for not knowing exactly what's going on. Oh, you did buy 2 health pots. Why didn't it show? Apologies, it does show 2 health pots now. Go on. The game decided not to show me the second health pot until later on. Go figure. But hey, we'll forgive that point now. He made the right decision in itemization, I guess, to deal with. It'd be interesting to see how he develops the beads and such in this game. I mean, looking at his opponents, he's definitely going to want beads sooner or later. He probably needs Aegis to deal with Poseidon. He can get away with just having beads if he positions himself correctly. He doesn't have to get Aegis because of Path of Flames, but he's going to need beads for the cooldown reduction and escape the cripple to avoid the Kraken and make sure he uses his Path of Flames correctly. Aggressive dash in, I'm okay with it. You've got push power on, this is good, this was a really good early push. Poseidon didn't try and punish you or fight you. You kind of time your Path of Flames pretty well there, because obviously he's just going to go with the Whirlpool and farm, which is good for you. If Poseidon was smart, he would have probably dropped it on you a little bit, because then he can get the waves to push. Now you know there's an invasion coming out, this was very, very smart, this was very, very good of you to listen to the comms call, and listen that you had to collapse on this situation, so I like this decision that you made here. It was very, very decent, fast response coming out from you. The only thing to worry about here is always keeping track of where your lane opponent is. Obviously, if you're going to rotate, they know they're invading too, so you just got to be careful. Obviously, you can't see this on the map yet, but you should be thinking about this as this goes on. We'll slow this down as it goes on, just to see how it plays off. Now the Path of Flames, sorry, not the Path of Flames, the Flame Wave actually helped them clear that buff, which was a bit of an issue. The decision to help them clear the buff was not the smart one. You tried to get damage off as quickly as possible, you should have been waiting for that one. We'll see this as if we just quickly rewind back and watch this little play one more time. Just fast forward it through this bit again. Right, when you get yourself into this position here, when you see this rotation coming out, all you want to do right now is stop and wait. Pause. Now you've already hit your bring your heat, the flame wave, at this point in time. You don't even know what HP this buff's at yet. You don't even know what HP this is at yet. So this is risky to try and just poke them down. You're not going to kill them both on your own. It's Sylvanas first of all. I know they're only level 2, but Sylvanas is going to have sustain at this point. So you throwing out your Flame Wave is really risky. You might poke them a little bit, but in the end, all you're really doing is probably going to clear the buff, which it shows that you do. You're actually helping them than you should have done. What you should have done is just stood and auto-attacked and just thrown basics. Basics at this level of time is fantastic. You know exactly what's going on. I like the decision afterwards where you choose the Path of Flames to close yourself in with your teammates coming into this fight, because you don't know the Poseidon rotation, which should be coming, so it's not the worst place. But at the same time, as if you had your Path of Flames up still and you still had your Flame Wave at this point in time, then you could have just positioned yourself here to cut off the exit route. You know, you are cutting off the exit route right now. Currently your position is perfect, your decision to rotate is fantastic, but the moment that you Path of Flames through here, you give them an escape route, immediately giving them an escape route, as well as helping them with clearing the buff. Oops, a daisy. Oh, really, Hindu? I rewound too far back. Speed, 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 super speed. There we go. At the point we talk about. So we'll watch it through anyway. So you end up Path of Flames in, which helps them clear the buff, because you've got your dot damage on it as well. They get the hog off, and they get the gold for it. And you lose your red buff. And now, because of the position you're in, you're auto-attacking from range with your teammates, but you help them clear the buff, which was a mistake. If you would have stayed there, like I said, this escape route wouldn't have been here. There's not much else you could do. There's no point chasing through this area either, unless, you know, you might get the collapse on here, which would be nice from the good rotation from Nemesis, honestly. And that's all she really wrote for that. Now it's back to Fari one more time. Don't be throwing out your 2 in those situations. Like, you could just auto-attack down. You're just going to save yourself a little bit of mana there. It wasn't the worst thing in the world to do, but you didn't even clear the wave, is the point I'm trying to make. With that Flame Wave. You just wasted mana on 3 minions. You want to be talking about mana conservation as well when you can. That's better because you had your passive on. So it will help you burn them all down and clear them a little bit quicker. Auto-attacks, auto-attacks. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, that was wasted. The auto-attacks here, which I'm going to show you again. Like, first of all, there's the Flame Wave. Oh. Did it rewind me all the way back? Why would it do that? Game, please. See that Path of Flames there? It was on 3 minions and you don't even clear them, is my point. So that wasn't really the wisest Flame Wave. Now the reason I'm actually talking about this again is because you're not using your auto attacks enough, which is using your early game power that mages have that a lot of people don't respect. You kind of played that right, to be honest. You took a little bit too much poke than you should have done. You should have Path of Flames earlier. But your auto attacks should be a lot earlier than they were when you got back into range. They should be picking out the reds probably over here now. They should be doing the red buff. You know your red buff's down. You've nothing for you to actually do apart from just sit around here. You're on good health and mana. You've popped 1 of each, which is fine to keep yourself sustained up. You can see Thor coming into the lane as well. So your whole plan is just to farm here. Now back out. There's no reason to be here anymore. Good, you do back out. But where we're going, we're not going anywhere. There's nowhere to really go, that's the problem. I like the decision just to wait at the corner because they think there might be a rotation to this side which makes them back out a little bit. They do have a ward though which gives away the game plan unfortunately. But I'm glad you just went into the jungle and hid. There's no reason not to go and hide there. You're getting behind it in the early game now, in the mid lane, and that's generally not down to you, it's generally down to the invasion. Some of it's down to you because of the way you played the red buff if you think about it, but at the same time like you're just dealing with what you can deal with. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Now we're level 5 right now, we've got 2 minutes 40. Are we going to be recording back to base? This is what you should be thinking about right now. Do I want my boots for the next fight? Do I want to get wards ready for the next fight? Because at the moment you've got 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold gets you tier 2 boots. If you, by the time you've recalled back to base and you've bought the boots, you should have that extra 50 gold total to be able to get a ward ready for this fight if you so chose to. You don't have to because you are on full health and mana, so I'm okay with you staying. But what else is there for you to do right this second? What you should be thinking about is either recalling, or you should be thinking about the fact that Poseidon might want to try and recall, depending on his health and mana situation. What is his health and mana situation? Well, at the moment, he's in a good spot too. You've not really got much poke damage onto him. He's not done any onto you. There's a very even lane between the two of you. You've both been pretty passive in terms of like fighting each other. Other things to note right now as well. Thor's probably 5, and Nemesis is level 3. So what could you do here? You could help out your jungler by going back to base and getting your boots and getting a ward. How would that help out your jungler? Because he gets a full free wave of experience in mid. What does that do to you? That puts you behind, however. But is this a team game or is it not a team game? Does your jungler influence the game? Yes, it does. That's the things you've got to be thinking about. You don't necessarily have to give up the whole wave. You could just let him split with you. But at the same time, letting him have that whole wave would probably help him out a lot more. Just out of interest, I just want to see where he is in the game in terms of experience. Yeah, he's 3.5, so he's really far behind right now. I probably would have given up the wave if I thought about it more. Clear this wave as quick as you can. Quick as you can. Flame wave, thank you. I'm glad you didn't use a bomb there. You want to be saving your bombs for these mid-harpies. Now, the next question is, what's your decision? Using your stun there, I don't agree with using the combustion just to clear the wave. 3 auto attacks would have been enough. You've still got time. You're choosing to go on this one too. Remember what we always talk about. Everyone should know this as well. This is the riskier harpies of the two. The definite riskier harpies of the two. Because this is the one where there's more people on this side of the map. If you think about it, everybody from here, these 4 people in lane, can all rotate over to these harpies. So this could become a 4v4 fight. And let's just look at the 4v4 fight that would happen in this situation. You have a level 4 on your side, a level 3 and a level 5 you. That's your team right now. That is your team right now. One person level 5. What's their team got? They have a level 5, a level 5, a level 5 and a level 6. Is it really a good idea to go for these harpies? Is it good to go for these right hand harpies? No, it's not. Well, the left one harpies on the map, but right to you. It's probably better to go for these ones in all honesty. There's no reason to be trying to contest these ones. This is risky as anything. Where are you looking? Where were you looking then? Where were you looking? What were you looking for? I don't get why you look that way. I don't actually get why you look that way. That was a really small thing, but I'm going to mention it again. Why does it rewind me so far back? That's really frustrating. You do a little look here and I don't get the look on my wave. Right, to be clear, when you go into this, you start looking this way, and you don't even check this path at all. I don't feel like you check it or keep it covered, because you know they're coming up. You're too worried about the Sylvanas rotation potentially coming through. I know you've not got wall coverage. I know you're looking for Sylvanas, but the thing is, you've got a Nemesis with you as well, and you're the ranged one, so you should be looking this direction really and clearing your angles. I don't feel like if we watch this back in slow, I don't feel like you cleared your angles properly. Why you do? Hindu, rewind, boys. Good job, Hindu. I'm pressing the wrong buttons today. I'm trying to slow it down and I sped it up. Right. We'll watch it again. So when we see this, watch how you look. Watch where you're looking all the time. You're like, support's missing, support's missing. You check to there. You check to there. That's all you see. And then you're already looking this way. You could be dead now. You could be dead now. Like Thor could just all in you right now. Now we're looking this way. We've still not cleared our angles. It's just like, the way you've got to think about this is like an FPS, right? When you play Counter-Strike, when you play Call of Duty, when you play any of those games, you have to clear your angles at all times when you're going into the jungle and things. It may seem like a really small thing, but clearing your angles is really important. The only angle you cleared to was here, right? And then you've approached this angle and past the angle of where you've actually cleared, so you don't know whether anyone's here. I'm not trying to say you would spot him, okay? I'm not trying to say you would spot him because he played this really well, but what I'm trying to say is that you should be looking this direction because you'll get caught if you don't. Now you clear your angle finally, and you hear this. You hear this and you saw that. You heard it and you saw it. What's the play? What's the play? Oh, now you're here and you're like, oh poop, I need to get out. Your turn, I'm okay with the turn. The turn's pretty good. Oh, don't do it wrong, Hindu. Slow. What's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? Why are we backing out? Alright, you saw the Poseidon coming in too. Why the two? Why the two? You've got 3 bombs. Now you're panicking about living. I'm doing this in super slow-mo, but the 2 was... You should not have been using the 2. It should have been a bomb. And I think you just die. The auto attack of panic. And then you throw the path of flames. I'm not sure if you do live. We'll speed it up again now. Good stun in the end. But then Apollo rotates. So, let's watch this back. Oops. Watch this back through the whole play. What should you have done in this situation? First of all, clear your angles, which we already discussed, so we won't go over that again. But then when this fight happens, you know everyone involved in this fight already. You already saw them all in this engagement. When Thor dunked down, it didn't hit you. You should have had options available, and you did have options available to you on what to do in this fight. We'll wait for the exact point where your options came available to you. You ready? Poseidon. It was just before this Kraken goes off you had options. You chose to throw out a 2 onto this instead of a bomb. There was 2 options. Very, very simple, very, very quick options. You knew Poseidon was rotating round. How did you know? Because the minion wave had seen him as well as Nemesis had seen him. Nemesis was only level 3. Can you help Geb in this situation? No, you can't. There's a Sylvanas and a Thor. You could have potentially helped him by throwing out the gas and the bomb, but then you could have got yourself picked as you do anyway. What you could have done is turn round, put your combustion down on the floor. Noxious fumes. Combustion. Noxious fumes down on the ground here and path of flames through. Then you could have all-in Poseidon as a team. You and this Nemesis could have all-in Poseidon, killed him and made it a 1-for-1 trade. That's relatively what I would have been thinking about doing there in that situation. It's very, very quick to think about this, okay? It's very, very quick to think about this. So I don't mind like you didn't do that exact option because I'm getting the benefit of replays and looking at everything that you saw. And it's a very, very quick moment in time for you to actually do this. The problem being is that I don't think it was the right decision that you made to throw out the Path of Flames. Sorry, not the Path of Flames, the Flame Wave. The Flame Wave was the one stupid decision out of everything that was more often than not the bad call, because you've got 3 bombs. You've not used a Rain of Fire since you leveled up, and so I know you've got at least 2. You're probably just approaching your 3rd bomb, and I've not even seen you thrown 1 goddamn bomb out yet, so I feel this was a big mistake from you. The other options, reposition yourself. You saw the Thor dunk there. You know Apollo's coming from this angle. Sorry, Poseidon's coming from this angle. Why did we not reposition over to this side? Why did we not reposition over to this side? This was a free gap of opportunity of area for you to go to if you felt uncomfortable. You would have still been in range for all the aggression. Plus you're turning your bombs and attention to this whole area, which is exactly the closed gap that's available to you. Keep your options available to yourself. You had options available. You just didn't choose the right ones. There's the Apollo rotation. There's not a whole lot that's going to happen from that. Apart from Apollo. How does that all come about? Well, because they were all higher level than you to begin with and you chose to do the wrong camps. GG. Worst thing is, back is so I've got the other camps too. And they got a gold. Back to game. Round 2. Fight. So, we're behind in lane. We got boost 2 on line. We got 2 wards. I like the decisions on the wards and stuff. Poke him! Poke him! Yes! Kill him! He's a free kill. Oh, you over panicked. You over panicked. You over panicked. Oh, Jalts. Jalts, play. Jalts. Jalts, you had him. You had him. The panic! The panic was real. Jalts! 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 That would have been so big for you. That would have been so big for you. Why would this have been so big for you? Well, this guy just got a freaking Gold Fury. He just managed to get a full minion wave. He was dead to rights. Like you, that third bomb, you panicked too much and you rushed it. Take into account that you stunned, yeah? You stunned, so you should adjust your third one. Your second one was on point, but your third one was the one that missed, and the third one missed because you expected him to be at that point in time. But how could he be at that point in time if you've just stunned him? He's not going to be at that point in time. You're taking into the fact that he wasn't stunned when you did that third bomb, and that was the mistake. That was the big mistake. You should have hit that. Should have hit that. The other option was not save that last bomb and Path of Flames him. Path of Flames in because he'd be burning on the ground. He'd have to avoid the fire. By avoiding the Path of Flames on the ground, these archers are dealing damage to him, and if you need to, you've still got that Rain of Fire at the end to clear him out. Wouldn't have really advised the Path of Flames just in case Thor rotates back in and kills you. So you hear that? Hear that? That's the police coming because they're so upset with you. That's what's happened. Someone's called the police because they think you're stupid. That was just dumb, okay? Just dumb. Silly mistakes, buddy. You gave yourself away a free kill. It would have got you back in the game. So I'm looking for farm now. You're going to go ward. I'm happy with the 2 wards that you've placed. You placed both the wards at exactly where you should do. Keep this line across the thing. Exactly across the thing. Exactly. Call 911. Agni can't aim. Exactly. Exactly. What are we doing? Why are we taking up all the minions? Like, come on. What was this bit? This felt like you're just going off the ball a bit now. I know the game's not going well for you, but this isn't what you should be doing. You know that. Oh, we get to watch it again. I hope the police don't come again. It was the same replay. Hang on, we'll just wait for you to ward up. This wave, you don't do this wave very well. This wave was really messed up. You didn't even land the Path of Flames! So you didn't even land the Flame Wave. Why didn't you land the Flame Wave? I know you're looking for more poke, but it was a bad Flame Wave. Mid Harpies again. Mid Harpies down. Rip the dream. Why were the Mid Harpies up? Did the Mid Harpies never go down? I'm confused by that now. What the hell are those Mid Harpies up? Why am I following you? I don't want to follow you. God, I've got to replay all the way back now to find out exactly what happened with these mid-harpies. Yo, they never went down, really? Oh, they did. Poseidon got 1. Did Poseidon get 1? Okay, so okay, the mid-harpies are off. Right, that makes sense to me now. Oh, we get to see it a third time. Like, I think the game wants us to keep re-watching that replay of you missing that kill, because I think that's really hurts you in this game. What I'm looking for you to do now really is farm your wave effectively because you're behind, but I also want to make sure that you start to try and rotate and make up for this if possible. Your lanes are not doing very well. You know, you've got a Loki over there. Loki's a potential for you to get a kill, right? That's what you should be looking at right now. What's potential for me to get a kill? Loki is potential for you to get a kill with because of the fact he's got Assassinate and you've got a stun. That's a double CC chain that you can use onto this Bakasura to kill him off. Because if you rotate to that lane and get an opportunity to rotate to that lane, get a stun on him, he's going to panic, he's going to jump away. When he jumps away, Loki can jump in again, assassinate, and help you bring him down with another bomb. So, you have potential over in this left-hand lane. I want to see if you notice it as this game goes on. You might not get the chance, but if I see an opportunity where you should be, you're getting ganked in mid, 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 you're getting ganked in mid. You are ganked in mid. Why did I feel like I could know that was happening? Not because of the map. Not because of the map. There was a reason why I knew that was happening, and you should have known that was happening too. Now, Poseidon's playing this very passive as well. He's not actually changed his ritual of how he's been playing. He's not changed his ritual of how he's been playing. Where's that ward? Because I can see it. I can see it. Where is it? The ward is hidden to me. I don't know why the ward is hidden to me, even though it's showing on the map. It's here somewhere. Are you stood right on it? There it is. But it goes invisible again. There is a ward here. You have a ward here. We could all see there was a ward there, even though it's not actually showing on the screen, because it lit up for a second. So you've got a ward, Jalts. You have a ward, but you're busy at the moment taking the red buff and taking this, that you're not keeping an eye on the minimap. When you're doing PvE stuff, guys, there's no reason for you to be focusing on the PvE stuff. PvE stuff does not kill you unless you're a baddie, unless you're DJ Pernicus, you try to do the Gold Fury. PvE stuff doesn't generally kill you, so you should not be thinking about PvE stuff whatsoever. You should be thinking about the situation at hand. Now you wonder what ties a full minion wave here? That's fine. You know you saw Thor go into this area. You know you saw Thor go into this area. And the only two transitional points from Thor from this angle is through this area here, where there is another ward, which hopefully it shows. Rip wards. Rip the dream. Let's see if I can make them come up. If I can remember keys. No, I can't remember keys. For some reason, wards just don't want to show for me. If I go into assisted, it'll show. No, wards are just not showing. I don't know why, but we all know there's also a ward here. Anyway, there's a ward here, which you can see. So if you passed through this area, he'd be going this way, he'd be coming to mid lane, or he's coming back this way. Who's over this way? Nemesis. So this corridor's null and void. Who's this way? A ward. So that area's null and void. If he goes back on himself, what's this way? A ward, so you know what's going on. So where is he? Where is he? He's somewhere between where he is right now and here. So he's all this area. You should know that. Back to free cam. Let's follow through with what happens. You thought about recalling, you decided to stay and use a mana pot, that's fine. Okay, now I can only see one set of wards. I've broken the game somehow. Vision. No, don't want that one. Oh, don't want that one. I pressed keys, guys, now I can't find the right key I need. Stupid overlay thing. Let me find it. View mode M. I guess it's M. I think it's M. M. Why the hell could... Can I not just see everything? Like, what the hell is M? Why would it... Right. That doesn't make sense. Keep an eye on the items on the right. Why do they keep changing? That's weird. I think you also might have seen him go up then as well. Oh, I can see the wards now. No. There we go. Right, there's wards again. So you get killed again. Check out what you've got on you right now. Hopefully I can go back onto you soon. I'm waiting to respawn again and I've got 5 more seconds. You bought 2 more wards. Have you got beads this time round? Because beads would save you. Beads would have saved you in that situation. You sold your wards, you sold and got mana potions again, I think. Finished your boots. Could we afford beads? I'm not sure. I'll check in a second. In fact, it might be better just to rewind and see. This is just before the gank, so... We're at 900... Okay, so boots are 925 gold. I know that much. Because you've already got tier 2 and the Magi's boots are 925. You were thinking about recall, you chose to stay. We'll work out exactly how much gold you had at this moment in time. Your mana pot's now gone. That's exactly your full inventory done. 925 gold. So you've got about 100 gold to spend, 150. About 150 gold after you buy full boots. So let's see what you actually buy with that. Now that we've done that bit, wait for you to respawn. Ding, he's alive. We got boots and 2 wards. I'm okay with this, but what I want you to do now is realise that he's clearly focusing and camping you in the mid lane, which makes perfect sense to me from the Thor's play. So now that you know you're being camped, I expect beads is the very next thing you go back to buy. Getting the 2 wards is good, but for the time being I want you to play this lane very, very safe. Actually, you can play it a little bit more aggressively just because of the fact that you know what's going on in this game. And the fact that you know he's not going to be able to come in for you one more time anymore because of it. So, see how this is going on, and try and actually rotate and look for a pick if possible. Let's just watch that little fight back. Sorry, I was a bit distracted then. Just want to watch this back again for a second. He rewinds all the way. The rewind key is terrible. Right. What do we choose to do straight from base? Go mid, farm the wave. That's fine. Go mid, farm the wave. Cool. Then you look for the rotation. You know Poseidon's got over there. everyone's slow on your team. What's slow on their team? What can you see that's slow on their team? Apollo's in the sky, you know, on the backside, Mugiwawa's low on this Sylvanas. You could go in for the Sylvanas